The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. August 7th, 2026. One of the worst positions to be in when a drone is already closing in. A shallow hole in open ground with nothing overhead. No cover, no exit, completely exposed from above. A soldier waiting in exactly that spot as the drone descends directly onto the position. There was nowhere to go from there. One of the clearest pictures of what this front has come to. A soldier with a bottle facing a drone. That's the defense. That's what's left. The drone operator doesn't adjust for it. It reaches him anyway. Two Russian soldiers running when the drone closes in. One goes down, the other trips over him. For a moment, they're both on the ground in the same spot. The drone doesn't wait for them to get up. Ukraine's Phoenix unit watching the same routes, the same corridors, because Russian soldiers keep using them. Small groups, lone soldiers, each one moving as if the route hasn't already been mapped and monitored. No variation in approach, no awareness of what's been tracked before them. Whether they have orders or not, whether they know where they're going or not, none of that matters from above. The Phoenix operators don't need to understand the plan. They just need to see the movement. And the movement keeps coming through the same places. Russian soldiers keep using the same routes. Do they know they're being watched, or does it not matter anymore? A Russian soldier spotted entering a shelter. The position confirmed the moment he goes in. A drone launches within seconds and dives directly through the entrance. The shelter that was supposed to protect him becomes the place he can't get out of. One drone, one soldier. And the drone is moving faster than he can track a clean shot. He tries to aim, loses the angle, tries again. A few passes, a few close calls. The first maneuver goes past him and he survives it. Then the second approach comes in. This time, he stops trying to aim and swings the rifle like a bat instead. A desperate move. It doesn't change what happens next. And it's not an isolated incident. Across this front, the same pattern keeps playing out. Soldiers entering shelters and trenches that drone operators have already marked. What used to be the safest option on the battlefield is now one of the most dangerous. A shelter gives the drone operator a fixed target. The soldier goes in, the entrance is noted, and the drone follows. The deeper they hide, the more trapped they become. Fortified positions designed to survive artillery are proving vulnerable to something that costs a few $100s and fits through a doorway. Motorcycles have become Russia's answer to a front line where armored vehicles can't survive. Fast, cheap, and maneuverable, they cover ground that larger vehicles can't. The problem is the same reason they're useful. They're exposed. No armor, no protection, nothing between the rider and what's above. Across different sectors, different terrain, different points along the front, the same scenario plays out. A motorcycle spotted, tracked, and the drone closes in before the rider can clear the area. Russia keeps sending them through. The result keeps being the same. Russian T-72 tanks advancing toward Ukrainian defensive positions in the Pokrovsk region ran into a drone response before reaching the line. Ukrainian FPV drones targeted the tanks one by one, stopping the advance before it reached Ukrainian positions. Armored vehicles are now rarely effective on this front. Tanks are now rarely seen on the front lines. And when they are seen, this is what happens. For every attack on Ukrainian positions, hundreds of drones can be deployed in a matter of minutes. A Russian vehicle carrying a group of soldiers, the crew bails out quickly when the drone closes in. The operator doesn't follow them. The vehicle is the priority. Take out the transport and the soldiers left on foot become the easier problem. The vehicle gets hit first. Russian forces moving toward the front in whatever transport is available. Soviet-era vehicles, civilian vans, old cars repurposed for military use. No armor, no protection against anything coming from above. The vehicles that were once considered adequate for rear logistics are now being used at the front line because armored alternatives have been steadily depleted. Each one intercepted here tells the same story. a military running short on proper equipment, filling the gap with whatever can be found and sent forward. For drone operators, these unarmored vehicles are straightforward targets. The lineman direction. Magyar's birds operator, scanning the tree lines methodically, checking exactly where soldiers on this front tend to go. A careful search through the canopy. Then something that doesn't belong. The camouflage is actually good. Well positioned, well concealed. Good enough to fool most searchers, not this one. A Russian vehicle moving supplies through the sector. A gunner in the back, set up to provide cover. Ukraine's Vartovy battalion drone closes in before the gunner even registers what's happening. The vehicle and everything it was carrying stopped before it gets anywhere. Russia moving air defense systems into positions in the Donetsk region, an attempt to push back against the drone coverage that's been controlling this front. Ukrainian reconnaissance locates each system before it becomes operational. Multiple FPV drones deployed to each target. Systems worth millions of dollars, hit before they can protect anything. The window between a Russian air defense system arriving and Ukraine finding it has become very short. Short enough that the systems keep not lasting long enough to matter. Reconnaissance drones scanning Russian positions. Coordinates locked and relayed to Ukraine's 67th Mechanized Brigade artillery crews waiting on the ground. The moment the target is confirmed, the guns open up. Artillery rounds and multiple launch rocket systems working through the positions one after another. What the drone finds from above, the artillery reaches from distance. A coordinated chain. Eyes in the sky, firepower on the ground, hitting what Russian forces thought was out of range. One FPV drone, precise reconnaissance, and a direct hit on a Russian ammunition supply point. The Vartovy battalion working with the kind of accuracy that turns a single strike into a significant result. The ammunition that was supposed to reach the front line, gone. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone spots someone in a tree line, not moving, not reacting. The operator initially thinks it might be a wounded Ukrainian soldier from a nearby unit. A flashlight signal, follow the drone. The man follows, assuming it's Russian. It isn't. The Mavic leads him directly to Ukrainian positions. He's disarmed and taken prisoner before he realizes the drone he trusted belonged to Ukraine's 5th Assault Brigade. A Russian drone operator launch point, the kind of position that keeps getting found and targeted. Ukraine's Mariupol battalion, Wild Uncle's crew, works through it strike by strike. The shelter, the equipment, everything the operators need to keep flying. By the end of the sweep, this launch point isn't launching anything anymore. Tall grass thick enough to disappear into, or so it seemed. A group tries to close in on Ukrainian positions this way, staying low, staying quiet. Ukraine's 4-post brigade spots them anyway, passing the coordinates straight to the Apex FPV team. They never make it close enough to matter. Day or night, Ukraine's Dnipro 1 regiment operators are already in the air scanning for Russian drones before they reach their targets. Reconnaissance drones, strike drones, each one found and brought down before it completes its mission. Every drone intercepted here is a Ukrainian position that doesn't take a hit, a soldier that doesn't get targeted, an infrastructure facility that stays intact. The sky above Ukraine is contested. These operators are the reason it doesn't belong to Russia. Ukrainian border guards working through a Russian position in the south. A UAZ Patriot located despite attempts to conceal it from drone surveillance, along with an observation post, a dugout, and a fortified shelter. Then the vehicles, 2 quad bikes and 7 more transport units. Everything Russia had staged for movement and ammunition resupply in this sector. A UAZ hidden from drones, found anyway. 7 vehicles ready to move supplies, all stopped before they do. 48 hours. 102 targets struck across occupied territory. Electrical nodes, Shadow Fleet vessels, an FSB base, Shahed relay towers, fuel depots, ammunition stockpiles, radar systems. Operation Crimean switch off now at 211 energy targets. What this campaign is doing, every substation gone forces Russian systems onto backup generators. Every fuel depot hit reduces what feeds those generators. Every communication tower down degrades coordination. Multiple campaigns hitting the same system from every direction simultaneously. And the pressure doesn't stop. August 7th, Ukraine's military intelligence group, 13, holding a naval parade off the Crimean coast with Magura combat maritime platforms. A deliberate act, reviving the tradition of Ukrainian vessels appearing near Yalta's waterfront. Not a strike, a statement. Crimea is Ukraine. What you just watched is happening every single day. Air defense systems found before they become operational. Supply routes turned into ambush zones. Soldiers led into captivity by their own trust in a drone. On the front line, 261 combat engagements recorded. Kostiantynivka and Pokrovsk, the heaviest sectors. ISW assesses that Russia is seizing only 7.87% as much territory in 2026 as it did in 2025. Ukraine's deep strike campaign has taken out more than 30% of Russia's refining capacity. The worst fuel crisis since the Soviet collapse, according to the Financial Times. A military running short on fuel, running short on equipment, running short on soldiers who know what they're doing. Russia keeps pressing. Ukraine keeps finding new ways to make pressing cost more.